The next time you wonder why anyone cares about 7 years of support, the next time you wonder why we make a big deal out of it when we're talking about manufacturers offering extended support, or you're asking yourself who keeps their phone for 7 years, think of the Galaxy Note 9. And I know what a lot of you are going to say. I know you're going to come out of the woodwork. You always do for Note 9 stuff. I just did a retrospective for Android Police, and the Note 9 never disappoints. People on their third displays, people on their third batteries, people who want to keep the Note 9 in service. And it's more than just nostalgia. There are legitimate reasons why you want to hang on to your Note 9 and keep using it, and you should. The Note 9 was the last time that Samsung appealed to enthusiasts. It was the last time that they threw every bit of technology they had into a device. They weren't worried about aesthetics. They weren't worried about how they were going to sell it. They weren't going to worry about any of that stuff. They just said, it's the end of the year, or August, whenever this came out. It was time for a new Note. We're not the aesthetic one, the sleek one, the sexy one, the one that looks good next to an iPhone in a carrier store. That was the Galaxy S that had come out in January. The one that is meant for people, hardcore users, was the Note 9. And it was the last time that Samsung built a device solely for those consumers, and that's sad. So you had your headphone jack, right? You had your physical fingerprint sensor. You had your iris scanner. You had your notification LED. You had old school Samsung Pay. Of course, the list goes on. So there are micro SD card, expandable storage, reasons why people would still want to use this device. And it's perfectly usable. Just had my SIM in it for a while. Does it take an extra beat to open up apps? Absolutely. Should you be that impatient? I don't think that's necessarily something that you need to worry about. This is a really nice phone with a gorgeous display. And if you're talking about using WhatsApp, if you're talking about using Twitter and Instagram and everything else, you will get by on your Note 9 still. The problem is Samsung left town. The problem is support. Now, I understand for the Note 9, a lot of people brought this up. They're like, don't blame Samsung, blame Qualcomm, blame Snapdragon because of the limited support. They physically couldn't update this anymore. I get all of that. That's not the point. I'm not saying that Samsung should have went back or offered that type of support back in the day on the Galaxy Note 9. What I'm saying is this. Don't sit there and say that extra support has no value. Don't sit there when I criticize companies like OnePlus and Motorola for not really offering the same software support, saying, well, what does it matter? What difference does it make? There are plenty of reasons why people would want extended support. Let's say you like your Google Pixel 9 XL, Pro XL. Let's say you love your S24 Ultra. Let's say you're in the same boat as people who bought the Note 9. You don't love the Note 10. Let's say you're not going to like the S25 Ultra. You're not going to like the curvier design of the display and whatever else that they put in there. You're not going to like the Google Pixel 10 for whatever reason. And then they keep that design for a few years. You don't like that one. You don't like that one. Maybe they get rid of a feature that you really like. Maybe they put the S Pen on the other side of the phone. There's so many different things that can happen design-wise, software-wise, that would get you to want to keep your older device. And when you think about the fact that you can get a premium design, you pop a new battery in this thing, or maybe your old one's fine enough. You get a premium design. You get mid-range-esque, at least budget experience. You get budget performance out of this thing still. You get an absolutely gorgeous display. You get great speakers. You get an S Pen. There are plenty of reasons why you'd still want to use your Note 9. There are plenty of reasons why that 7 years on, 6 years on, that this is a perfectly usable device. So I don't want to hear it anymore about the 7 years of support not being important, the 7 years of support not adding value. Oh, it doesn't matter. What is it going to look like 7 years from now? This is still fine. If Samsung were to take the time to optimize something for this device, if it were possible, again, I'm talking hypothetically here. I understand that with the limitations, it's not possible. If it were possible for Samsung to go back and optimize something for the Galaxy Note 9, this would still be a popular device today. Go ahead, go at me in the comments. I know you're out there. You always come out of the woodwork for this one. If you're still using your Galaxy Note 9, if you're still watching this on a Galaxy Note 9, if you enjoy that saturated display, if you enjoy the curved display, curved screen, if you enjoy that magnificent build, if you enjoy the fingerprint sensor, all the things that the Note 9 had to offer, that some of which you can't even get anymore on a new phone, then let me know in the comment section. Could be a dual purpose video. I don't want to hear it from the people who say 7 years of support doesn't matter. But at the same time, let this be a tale for Samsung to maybe break up its lineup once again. I really think there's an opportunity for that awkwardness that they have in the lineup between the S Plus and the S20 whatever Ultra to kind of break into a Galaxy Note again. There is an opportunity for the S Plus to go back to being like the S21 Ultra. You can have the curved display, you can have the nice design, even if you want, if they stick with a flat display, whatever it happens to be. Top of the line specs, top of the line camera, make it a consumer friendly device that's still going to sell well. Everybody's going to love it. The people who don't want to spend extra on an S Pen, who don't need it, who don't like the boxier design, can quit crying and can buy that phone and be happy. So you don't have somebody making a compromise or paying more than they need to pay. That's what you could do there. But have this, you can't tell me there aren't still fans of this form factor. You can't tell me there aren't, of all the 9 million devices that Samsung puts out there at every single price range, you can't tell me there's not room in the lineup for enough of enthusiasts to purchase something that will have legacy features like this with up-to-date hardware. You can't tell me that there aren't enough people who still want a headphone jack on these thick devices. It's not like the S24 Ultra is a thin phone. It's not like it's not a bulky device. There has to be room to either, make it a tenth of a millimeter thicker, and you could put in a headphone jack. You could put in old school Samsung Pay. You could put in a physical fingerprint. Make a phone, iris scanner, LED, better speakers, micro SD. Make a phone, again, that is geared towards enthusiasts. That's not the sexiest thing in the world. That's not the sleekest device going. That is all the money, okay? That is S24 Ultra money. No one's going to complain about that. It's for enthusiasts. I think there's a market for something like the Note 9 again. And I would love to see Samsung take that seriously and offer us something a little bit different. Instead of this just bizarre marriage that we've had to sit through of the S Plus and the S24 Ultra. They've made it a little less awkward by giving the S24 Plus a better display. It's not as bad as it was in previous years, but somebody goes home unhappy. Somebody goes home having to compromise, whether in the camera features they want or in the price that they want to pay. If you separate the devices out again, you no longer have that issue. You can have everybody get all the camera stuff in a price that they like on the S25 Plus or whatever it be, S26 by the time they'd have time to implement our suggestions, because I know Samsung's listening. Or on the other side, you can have the enthusiast pay all the money, get all the features, but also get those extras that get enthusiasts excited. So all those things that you hear about, those are things that we want again on a Note device. And I do think there is a market. I think there's enough people out there that would buy them and would be interested in a phone like that, just given the interest on the old school Notes and the amount of people who have felt they have not found a phone that they can upgrade to comfortably since the Note 9. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.